Good morning, everybody. My name is Jerome Grilleres. I'm General Manager Europe for VeChain. And this is Dimitri, who is Ecosystem Manager. I'm based in Paris. Dimitri is based in Nicosia, in Cyprus. So today we're going to introduce you about VeChain, starting with the company, and then quickly going into the different projects and use cases that have been on the platform so you get a better feel for what the platform is about. Some slides have very small print. This is made on purpose. Don't even try to read it. You will not manage. We did it like this because we want you to come to meet us at our booth outside and have a discussion. It's much more friendly that way. So VeChain. VeChain, we are a startup founded in Shanghai 2015. For the first couple of years, we dedicated our time to build projects for large enterprises in various industries. And after collecting feedback 2 years into the project, we decided to refocus and enable others as opposed to build on their behalf. So we designed and built a distributed and trust-free ecosystem targeted to enterprises, startups, and community to build business value. I will go a bit later into what that means. We currently have investors from the VC funds, traditional and the crypto funds, but also from the traditional world. PwC is one of our investors, and the other one is DNVGL. It's a key investor for us. It's a multinational that does certification. And on blockchain, you can put a lot of data, but what you put just has the value of the person that put it. So when you have partners like DNVGL, you can ensure that data is being certified. We currently have presence around the world. We have about 100 employees. Most of them are in Shanghai, but we also have offices in Cyprus, France, US, Singapore, Tokyo, Hong Kong. So now Dimitri is going to talk to you more about the technology and the use cases.
As VeChain, we realize that there are some parts of centralization that other blockchains have been deemed not to work that are working. And also there are some parts of decentralization that are working as well. So we brought them together and we built the first hybrid blockchain. Like that? Okay. What it means, the hybrid blockchain? It means a public permission blockchain that everyone can read, but not everyone can write. Some of the important characteristics of our blockchain is the governance model that we have that keeps the balance between decentralization and centralization. Also, our unique economic model, the dual token system, ensures that the transactions are not exposed on the volatility. Unlike other blockchains, we are not proof of work, we are not proof of stake, we are proof of authority, with 101 authority nodes that are whitelisted, KYC, and AML by VeChain. Another feature that I would like to talk about is about the meta-transaction features we have. We understand that a lot of business, they want to explore blockchain, they want to implement blockchain, but they are unfamiliar with the use of crypto, or they don't want to use crypto. So we have created the MPP, the multi-party payment protocol, that allows you to use blockchain without touching crypto, because someone else is paying for your transaction on chain. It's also known as the fee delegation. Another unique feature is the MCT, the multi-clause transactions, which allows you to bunch a series of transactions all in one transaction. Unlike other blockchains that if you want to batch them, you cannot, and you need to send them separately. Now, I want to show you Toolchain. Toolchain is an off-the-shelf product for people that are not technology familiar at all. Allows people to build with a drag and drop solution on a web portal. Then it is hashed on the blockchain, and also you can tag them with our IoT devices like NFC and RFID. Some of the use cases of Toolchain are going to be presented in this video.
After customizing sneakers for the past 15 years, we have recently upped our game by incorporating integrated blockchain technology into our sneakers, enabling anyone to verify them as original sabotage customs. Proudly made in Syria.
介绍呢，在这件衣服里面埋置了由 VeChain 和 Swell 共同设计的一个区块链的芯片，埋置在了我们的衣服里面。
Another interesting solution that I would like to talk about is a solution built by our partner, strategic partner and shareholder, VeChain. VeChain are experts on certification for more than 100 years, and they have developed My Story. My Story, as you can see here in the bottle of wine, it's a QR code that when you scan it, it shows you all the story, production story of the wine, from vineyard up to bottling and distribution. And what is even more important about it is the element of certification, because in each processing point of the wine, there is an external auditor by VeChain verifying that the information that has been hashed on the blockchain, it is indeed a valid one. For first time in history, a bottle of wine is much more than just a bottle of wine, thanks to the My Story. I will pass then the presentation to Jerome for more solutions that have built.
Dimitri just introduced you two aspects of the shelf product for businesses that want to build on blockchain without touching anything. Then My Story, which is the greatest example of a company with expertise in certification. They build on top of Toolchain using the API and bring their value to their customers. But not all blockchain projects are about tracking assets, recording data onto the blockchain. In this example, in the carbon digital ecosystem, the idea is to capture behavior on the blockchain. And the concept is the following. You drive your car. The car is going to send, if you sign up for the service, the car is going to send to the blockchain some element about your driving behavior, like are you driving on eco mode, on electric engine versus combustion engine, and so on. The blockchain, the smart contract that receives the data, is going to calculate an eco-friendly score, compare that to a benchmark, and if you're better than a benchmark, you're going to get some points, which will be allocated to you as tokens. Then those tokens, you can use them and redeem them to get at the partners, like the retailers that are part of the program. So the largest one is called Brightcode. They track their milk on our blockchain, and they offer 10% discount to holders of this token. And retailers have a vested interest in accepting those tokens because they show that they're doing something from the environment. They don't simply just go and plant trees in the desert to help saving the planet. They also offer services and products that will drive the behavior of every individual. And the ecosystem is built in an open way such that any company can join in and join out so long as they comply with the spirit of the ecosystem. We talked about a number of projects. This one I just wanted to mention. You can scan the QR code. It's an original one. Is to demonstrate scalability. The idea here is Walmart. Everybody knows Walmart in China. They've decided to move over to the VeChain blockchain to track their ecosystem of suppliers. So here, they certify their suppliers and they record the certification data on our blockchain and enable every client in the Walmart stores to be able to scan the product and have more information. So that was kind of an overview of different type of use cases. In these use cases, we play different type of roles. Sometimes we just help connect on the blockchain. Sometimes we even participate in ideation or shaping or advising. But our whole intention overall is to drive adoption by providing tools and services that help this. So this complicated slide is kind of a summary of all the services that we offer, from a technical software to technical hardware. Bottom line is a blockchain, the VeChain blockchain infrastructure. It's a public blockchain. The source code is available. All the blocks can be checked and verified by everybody. Only a limited number of verified servers can actually write to the blockchain. And when I said this is an ecosystem, it's truly an ecosystem. This is all like a subset of the participants on the ecosystem, whether they are companies, startups. We also work with university to further the technology to make sure we are state of the art in terms of research. We work with Stanford, we work with Oxford University in the UK, and other universities in China and US. And the idea is to connect everybody to drive adoption. So it's not just everybody's working in silos, it's how to connect all the use cases together. So please follow up on Twitter or WeChat for those who are WeChat friendly. And now we would welcome any questions. And don't forget to come and see us at our booth outside. Thank you.
Can I know if I buy a bottle of wine that nobody exchanged the good wine against the bad wine without opening the bottle and drinking it?
Yeah, so we have project, it's not the scope of this project, but for what you're describing, what we are currently using is NFC technology that goes below this red cap, that goes around the cork, that you can scan from outside, and if you open the bottle, you break the tag. Okay, so we have anti-counterfeiting solution that we work with some suppliers in France to implement. The scope of this project was not anti-counterfeiting, it was to understand why this product is better than another one. And the value added is that you know exactly the process of how the winemaker, first of all, you know the winemaker, but you also know how he's doing his vinification and all the steps of the wine. And very importantly is that on the blockchain you will find the data that supports this claim, that supports the story, and you will find the certification of the NVGL, who is the third-party auditor that will verify this data.
Okay, so with an RFID chip you secure the transport basically, that nothing is exchanged. So if it's still a bad wine, then I know it was the producer?
So yeah, so you can combine the two. You can combine the anti-counterfeiting system to make sure usually anti-counterfeiting is making sure you don't refill the bottle, okay? So that's really the biggest challenge. So you can play around with NFC rather than RFID, because NFC has some secure feature involved. I can expand later on this. And then it's easy to interact with the end user.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations. Sounds like for a public blockchain, you guys are getting quite a lot of clients. Coming from a DApp background myself, you touched on something involving not using crypto, is that right, to write to the blockchain? I think you said MPP, multi-protocol or something. Now, if that's the case, that's quite a leap in a mass adoption kind of way. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and how that works, and they retain the private keys, etc.?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So there are two parts of this question. First of all, one of the tools we provide is an API, which means that if you want to interact with the blockchain, you will come to us by transactions, like business transactions, and then you just conduct the API. We will manage the token part. But also there is a more native function to the blockchain, which is usually when you trigger a smart contract, whoever is paying for the transaction is the one that triggered the transaction, okay? So at the same time you send your information, you send your tokens to pay for the transaction to be validated. In the case of MPP that Dimitri described, the issuer of the smart contract can decide to create a pot where the smart contract is going to take the token and do not ask the sender of the token to pay for it. So the sender is going to send a transaction with 0 token inside, just information. And the smart contract is going to say, let me check if the stash still has some tokens. If yes, I will run this transaction.